Very good evening to one and all. I am Gaura Elamali, working as a lecturer in KLE Society's Arts and Commerce College, Gadag. It's our pleasure to host you all for this and auspicious day. I wish to share one quote that is, a gifted teacher is not only prepared to meet the needs of the today's child, but also prepared to foresee the hopes and dreams in every child's future. As the quote says, uh, we uh, we the teachers want to shift the traditional method of teaching to modern methods, right? So in this present scenario, we had taken a small step towards to prepare the teachers for future childs. I hope we have succeeded in that, and we have given the justice for the title of the FDP and for your valuable time too. Here we are in the last session of the FDP. Before starting the session, I take this opportunity to welcome you all for this meaningful program. Firstly, I would like to extend my warm welcome to today's chief guest for the valedictory function, Professor N.M. Sali sir, Register, Folk University, Gotgodi. Welcome you, sir. I also take this opportunity to welcome today's resource person, Bhagya GB Madam, Assistant Professor, SDC Degree College, Bangarpet. Welcome you, Madam. I also welcome Dr. Murlidhar Sir, Chief Mentor, Academic Research Group, Kolar, and also all the members of the Academic Research Group, Kolar. Welcome you all, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
I also welcome our respected principal, Professor M.B. Kodvi sir, for this program. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
I also welcome Dr. Rikemat Madam, IQSC Coordinator for the FDP. Welcome you, Madam.
Thank you, madam.
I also welcome all the resource persons of the FDP for this session. Welcome you all. Also take this opportunity to welcome all the participants and the faculty members of our institute for the program. Welcome you all. By this, I am winding the welcome speech, and I request Dr. A.V. Devangmat Madam to introduce today's resource person, Bhagya GB, Assistant Professor, SDC Degree College, Kolar.
Okay, madam.
Over to Devangmat Madam.
Okay, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Dr. A.V. Devangmat, HOD of Kannada Department of KLE Arts and Commerce College, Gadag. It's my great pleasure for me to introduce today's resource person who is going to enlighten us about revitalizing quality in higher education through leadership. Today's resource person, Ms. Bhagya GB, is the daughter of Sri GB Basavaraj and Srimati S.D. Dakshayanamma. She is working as the assistant professor of commerce at SDC College, Degree College in Bangarpet of Kolar district. Madam has completed her BCom and MCom degree from Bangalore University, and she has completed her MPhil degree in the year 2018 from Kamraj University, Madurai. She has also completed her PG diploma in HRM from Mount Carmel College in the year 2004, and also completed a PG diploma in business administration from Annamala University, and she did her PG diploma in entrepreneurship development from Kamraj University, Madurai. It shows her interest and excellence in different areas of commerce sector. She has participated in various workshops, orientation, academic conferences regarding framing the syllabus conducted by various institutions. She has the life member of Indian Commerce Association, National Human Resource Development, Research Development Association, and Indian Accounting Association. Madam has attended 2 international, 1 national, and 14 state level workshops and has presented papers in all 3 levels, and she has also received Best Paper Award at all levels. She has attended international conferences conducted by Colombo, Sri Lanka, and ABBS Bangalore in the year 2012, and Daito Banka University, Japan, in association with ABBS Bangalore in the year 2015, and also attended 4th ICSTMH conducted by Bangkok, Thailand. Madam has published 2 articles in peer-reviewed journals with ISSN and ISBN. She has attended 20 state-level FDP programs, and she has also attended and presented papers on various topics in 70 conferences, as well as she has also participated in 23 events regarding different concepts of education. She has worked as a resource person, chairperson of technical sessions, question paper setter, external examiner, and act as a judge. She has written books on various subjects of commerce and published like cost management, GST, goods and services, taxes, etc. Madam has got Best Teacher Award on the occasion of the Teachers' Day in the year 2018-19 and 2019-20 by SDC Degree College, Bangarpet. It shows her interest, excellence, dedication, enthusiasm, and hard work in the field of education. Really, heads up to you, madam. Such a wonderful resource person we have in today's program. Once again, wholeheartedly, I welcome you, madam, on behalf of our college, principal, staff, and students. And also, I express my sincere gratitude to Murlidhar sir, Chief Mentor, Academic Research Group, Kolar, for introducing such a excellent personalities as a resource person in this 7 days FDP program. Thank you very much, sir. We are eagerly waiting to hear your words, madam. Welcome you once again, madam.
Oh, thank you very much, ma'am, for your generous introduction. Can I share my screen now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Go on, madam.
You can share.
And please do confirm if at all the screen is visible.
Yes, sure.
Is it visible, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
1 second. Just a minute. I have a technical issue in presenting. Just a minute. Yeah. Is it visible now, ma'am?
Not at me.
Ma'am, is it visible now?
Yeah, it's starting.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I'll put on slideshow.
Yeah.
A very good evening to the galaxy of intellectuals who are present on this virtual platform. At the outset, I would like to place on record my sincere thanks to the principal, Professor M.B. Kolvi sir, of KLE Arts and Commerce College, Gadag, IQSA coordinator, Dr. A.K. Matman, and my humble pranams to my teacher, guide and mentor, Dr. Muralidhar S., the chief mentor of Academic Research Group, for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on the concept, on the topic, revitalizing quality in higher education through leadership. I would like to start my presentation with a quote. Education is a manifestation of what is already in man. These are the words by Swami Vivekananda. It is the displaying of the quality which is already in the individual, which is fostered or tuned by education. Joseph Edison rightly says, what sculpture is to a block of marble, education is to a human soul. That says that how essential education plays an important part for the holistic development of an individual that contributes to the economy. There is a very famous Chinese proverb that says that if you want 1 year of prosperity, plant a corn. If you want 10 years of prosperity, plant a tree. And if you want 100 years of prosperity, educate people. So this says that how essential education is. Education without leadership, education without educators does not make sense. An investment in knowledge today is going to be paying us interest for a number of years.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Just confirm me, are you moving the slides?
Yeah, the slides are moving, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Here, the slides are not moving, so I'm...
Ma'am, are you on the second slide now?
No, ma'am. It's on the first slide itself.
Is it so?
Yeah.
Are you on the second slide now, ma'am?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. Please switch on the presentation mode, ma'am, so we can see better.
Okay, ma'am. Please switch on the slideshow, please.
I've put on the slideshow, sir.
No, ma'am. It's not
active. No, ma'am. Not yet.
Not moving.
Please
not
go yet. For F5. Press F5, ma'am.
Are you on the second slide now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
Can you see multiple quotes on the second slide?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
But not in slideshow mode.
Slideshow, ma'am.
Sir, are you seeing the third slide now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 1 second. Sir, now?
Not yet, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
You go just bottom right.
Yes.
You click slideshow,
There
ma'am.
is a slideshow button in.
Are you getting it now?
No, not yet.
Sir, I did click the same.
Yes,
I clicked the slideshow.
Yes,
not
ma'am.
that one. You move to...
So are you getting it?
Yes, that one, ma'am.
Okay, I've done it.
No, slideshow is not...
Are you seeing the third slide? Are you seeing the third slide now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, is it visible now? Can I continue?
Not third slide, it is second slide.
Sir, are you on the slide an investment is knowledge? Are you on that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. That is the second slide, I think.
Now are you on the third slide, dear educators?
No,
Are you
ma'am.
able to see?
No.
We are in the second slide itself now.
Oh, sorry.
Now it's third slide.
Okay, is it visible now? Can
Yes,
I
ma'am.
continue?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So I'll just move back to the second slide, which is not completed yet. So an education accompanied or encompassed with leadership makes a lot of difference. That's the topic of the presentation, what I have today. And leadership is all about trying to convert the dreams into reality, the visions into reality. And anybody who can inspire can become a leader. And at every facet of the education institution, every person is going to be a part of it, is going to be an educator. And this is a slide for all the people who are there on this platform. A big present on this platform for their contribution, what they've made to the field of education, which in turn is going to be completing the whole country and leading to every individual to compete in the global environment. Every educator here has made a lot of contribution. You are unstoppable in unveiling the learning potentials of the students or the pupils. How is that possible? By the guidance what you have given, the guidance in the light of multiple dimensions to see that they professionally and personally develop for later life success. The untiring patience, what each one holds today as a father, as the mother, the hand holding what is being done. So that really requires a lot of patience, and everybody is a witness of it. Unparalleled knowledge. This platform itself is a witness for it. You have all gathered here today having multiple post-graduation degrees and multiple experiences what you have. But still you're here today to learn something new, if at all I can contribute to this. So when you learn something new, you normally carry it down into your classroom. So the thirst for the knowledge, the urge for the knowledge, which is unparalleled comparison. Unabating dedication, your dedication to the work, the passion, irrespective whether you come here by chance or by choice, at the entry level what you are, and when you enter into the profession, it is the responsibilities what we shoulder on at least 100 students every year. So the level of dedication is unabatable. And the different types of pedagogy, what you're going to be trying to see that the students are going to be engaged. And your people are so unique, and it's a time to make all of you special. And educated deserve to be special because of the unequaled work they have been doing over the years. It can never match with any other precious thing what you own in your life, the level of contentment what we can feel when our students are going to be excelling. So there was a survey that was done. Before that, let me ask you, how many of you can remember your teachers who taught? And can you freeze on just one teacher who made a difference to you? I'm very sure it would not be one teacher, it would be multiple teachers that would be passing on your mind, because each one has contributed to in a different phases. There was identified to say who a great teacher is all about. These are the few points what I have. The first one is the ability to develop relationship with the students. It is not the relationship what we have only when we teach in a particular semester or a year. It is a lifelong relationship what we maintain. That relationship does not end with the end of the course. The relationship continues even after that. I think everybody would vouch for it. The patience what a teacher carries, the amount of caring what is there, the type of the personality what they have. I think this we can witness on the Teacher's Day when the students are asked to speak something about the teacher or the favorite teacher. Now each one tries to find a unique quality in each of the teacher, which we ourselves will not be knowing about, something called as a blind spot. So the level of patience what a person carries, the caring what they have, one small positive stroke that really makes a lot of difference. It does not make a difference to me, but it makes a difference to a child. So one who can be patient, one who can be caring, one who can have a kind personality was attributed to be a great teacher. The knowledge of the learners, knowing the learners is very important. I would just like to pick up an example here. Walmart, who run the chain stores, he has 17,000 employees in the organization. And all the 17,000 employees he knew by the second name. That was the way the address in the West. So it is very important that if at all a teaching learning should be happening in an effective way, knowledge of the learners is very important. So the third attribute to make a teacher great is about the knowledge, having the knowledge about the learners. The last but one is the dedication towards teaching, the passion what they carry towards teaching, trying out new props every day, trying out new methodology, and it's going to be progressive. The first year when you join the profession till now what you are, there's a lot of changes in yourself, what you can feel, the dedication what the teacher has. This is going to be evaluated by the teacher every hour we enter the class. And engaging students in learning, how well we are going to be keeping them or training them in scholastic learning is very important, because we have three different types of learners in the class. One is the auditory, one is the visual, one is the kinesthetic learners, trying to cater to even the last person in the class. What a teacher does makes a great teacher. The content of my presentation goes in 4 phases. One is the introduction, the resourcefulness of the teacher, and how we can apply this to two stakeholders. One is the students, the other one is the peer group. So the next is about the introduction. Can you confirm if at all the slides are moving? Organizers?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Just keep me informed so that I'm in track, because I'm not able to see. It's only the screen what I can see as of now from your end. Now, coming to introduction, I would take three aspects which are very important. That is the title of the topic 2. One is education, the second is quality, and leadership. Now, education is on the national agenda. That is in order to transform. It acts as a tool to transform the children for the future. And we are known to have the youngest population in the country. And as per the statistics, which says that the median age is between 29 and 30 years. And in order to reap the benefits of this demographic dividend, three aspects are very important, which has been emphasized even in the new education policy 2020. That is the quality education, innovation, and research. And in order to achieve this, there is important that the required skills and knowledge are supposed to be partnered. And how do we equip the students? The students have to be equipped by whom? It is by the teachers or the educators, having a scientific temper of mind, building up competencies and their capabilities to make the country more vibrant. Now, this can happen only through quality. And every individual is a positive asset and a positive resource. And this has to be valued, nurtured, and developed. And in order to have a holistic education, the faculty stands as a driving force. And these faculties helps to see that the dream of the child is going to be converted into a reality, moving beyond the knowledge and application of it. That is by helping them to discover themselves through self-awareness, building their self-esteem, and developing the ability to work in a team. And this is possible only by creating a dynamic environment. Now, moving on to leadership. Now, leadership is quintessential in the dynamic world. Now, leadership gives a leverage to strategic change in the institution. Now, most of the institutions have been seeing leadership as a competitive advantage, and leadership is not vested in the hands of the top-level management. Now, it is percolated. Top-level management means the management who runs the institution, the administrators, the principal, and the head of the department, but it's been percolated down to all the levels in the institution. And the higher education has become more future-oriented. Therefore, what has not been achieved by the administrators and the management, this paradigm shift can be brought only through focus on the leadership. And leadership is all about setting new standards in the right spirit and to see that you aspire others to follow. Now, let us try to move ahead. We have something connected to myths of leadership. Now, how to understand the concept is understanding what is not leadership. Then we'll go about understanding what leadership. Now, myth is something like a false statement. I've just pulled up a few things from the ideas has been produced from the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, which has been written by John C. Maxwell. The first is about the management myth. I've just pulled up the sentences right from the book directly. I would acknowledge the source where I've taken from. That is the book written by John C. Maxwell. The management myth is about sometimes even the best manager is like a little boy with a big dog waiting to see where the dog wants to go and see that you take them there. So it is all about, it's not about leadership and trying to move in the direction where the people are going to be moving. So that is not leadership. Leadership is a different connotation by itself. The entrepreneur myth, selling of 300 million must have earned a lot of plenty of money. At best, the person is able to persuade people for that moment, but does not hold good for a long-term influence. We watch a lot of tech talks. When we watch it 1, 2, 3 days, we get sailed with the talk, what we have heard, but after that, there's no long-term influence at all. So that is the entrepreneur myth, what I'm trying to put across here. The third one is about the knowledge myth. Knowledge is considered to be power. These were the words given by Sir Francis Bacon. The universities have many brilliant and knowledgeable professors. However, there have never been good leaders. So these are the words written by John Maxwell himself. It's a generalized statement. Please do not associate that to yourself because it is a generalized statement that's been put here. The next one is about the pioneer. The pioneer is not a leader. In what context? I'll just give an example. Being the first isn't always being a leader or leading the team. Sir Edmund Hillary was the first man to reach the summit of Mount Everest, but that does not make him a leader. In fact, even in this expedition, John Hunt was his leader. So pioneering does not mean that you are a leader. The last one is about the position. It is not the position that makes a leader, it is a leader that makes a position. So these are the words by Stanley Huffey. So these are the various myths what we have connected to leadership. The next, let us try to understand what leadership is all about. Leadership is a group focus, it's a group process. It is a centralized effort of one person and an expression of the power to all. A point of polarization, that is two groups. One is a leader, the other one is the followers. So these two groups clubs together with the type of leadership which is going to be executed, and that leads to group cooperation. That's about how we define leadership from the group process. Coming to compliance. Now, handling men is quite a difficult task. Handling men with least friction, that means it has greater cooperation. A face-to-face contact encompassing to see that there is a control, it's a personal control and not a threat to what is going to be created. By this, there can be obedience, what you can command, the respect, the loyalty, and the desired results by a leader can be expected by compliance. The next is influencing. That is influencing the change to reach up the goal, and the various traits which are required, the personality what is required to see that you're keeping them engaged, and active engagement is very important. Today there's been a lot of talk about employee engagement in the organization, so also the student engagement in the class. So the leader as a teacher as a leader plays an important role. The next one is about persuasion, which has to be more, it should be more inspiring rather than a threat of coercion. It has to have a human touch. The last is about the behavior. It is the behavior that results in responding to the shared direction. The behavior of the leader matters to a larger extent to see that the organizational effectiveness and the decision-making can be appropriate. Now let us try to understand the college evaluation model, how it has been evaluated. In a conventional method, the college evaluation was done based on the type of the course or the nature of the course that was offered. But today there's a change in the modern days. It has been evaluated from different aspects: the teachers, the students, the physical input, the management, and the administrators. Now, when it comes to students, trying to understand the student, where they come from, the demographic of theirs, and what they were at the entry level and what they're at the exit level, the 3 years or the 2 years, what they stay with you. So what is the progression of the student has to be understood. Now, what are the different types of issues, what they're going through in the family, in case of any social issues, the other issues have to be understood. Understanding the student. For example, if I have to compare a rural college with an elite college, it is not comparable. So the evaluation is going to be you as an individual, as an institution, has to benchmark yourself, not comparing with the others. We have to lay a benchmark to ourselves. Similar in case of teachers, it is the background of the teachers, where they come from, the demographics of theirs. So also in case of the training, the experience, what they have, and along with the attitudinal factors, what the teacher possesses is going to help to evaluate the college. The next is the physical inputs. 80% of your problem is solved. Infrastructure really does not matter. I don't say really does not matter, it matters, but you have effective teachers, you have excellent teachers in the organization, 80% of the problems are solved. The 20% can be attributed to the physical inputs, like something like labs, you have the buildings, the classrooms, the incubation centers, then you have the research centers, and many more to add on. The physical inputs is just complementary to the other two attributes what we have. The next is the management. The management, the type of the management, the benevolent management, what you have, the academic and the non-academic autonomy, what is given, the modern management approach, what they have, the sophisticated technology, the philosophy of the organization, institution also matters. There's not much of difference between the teacher and that of an administrator. They go in lines with each other. Now, coming to the next slide is about effective teaching. I think in the earlier sessions, a lot of inputs have been given. I'll just touch upon a few aspects of it, taking a couple of minutes. Now, teaching skills. Howard Gardner, in his book, Unschooled Mind, he identifies 3 types of education. One is intuitive, experiential, and scholastic. The first to have become outdated of today because the scholastic teaching has become more prominent in the present dynamic environment, the type of the generation what we have, where we have to tune them. The class interventions has been a base of evaluation in the present day. Instead of teaching them the conceptual clarity and multiple other things, what can be done is that bringing the real life examples to the class, giving them hands-on experience. For example, just bringing the family into the picture, into the class, and maybe giving an issue to them, and how as a head of the family you're going to be tackling the issue. So this type of education, what is required in the present day, is what Howard Gardner insisted on. And according to Gary UK in his book called as Leadership in the Organization, he speaks about three types of leadership, skills what a teacher requires. One is the technical, conceptual, and the human skill. And the technical skills and the conceptual skills are very easy to gain, but when it comes to human skill is what is given more importance as of today when it comes to effective teaching. According to Noam Chomsky, in the book called as Teacher is Power, he states that the teacher has an influence on the students more than that of the parent. I think you would have witnessed in the PT meeting what you would conduct in your institutions. Many times a parent are helpless. They say, Madam, if you do tell my child, the child will really listen to you. So we would have come across this type of instances too. So influence by the teacher is exorbitant in the present day. The quality of the teachers get reflected in the type of the leadership that's been offered and the knowledge what the teacher is going to be imparting to the learners during the class intervention, even without asking them to be followed. Stephen Covey, in his book called Principle-Centered Leadership, he speaks about communication skills, which says very important. I'll just give you certain examples on a lighter note, which happens in our day-to-day classes. A noisy or a nuisance student in a class, maybe a boy or a girl who is very noisy in the class. You want the class atmosphere to be very cool for you to teach. So you want to send them out of a class. There are two statements what you can use. Please walk out of the class. I'll kick you out of the class. Now, if at all I was a student, what was the statement, what I would expect? That's a statement what you have to think even before communicating. The statement what I would expect as a student is the teacher telling me, walk out of the class. So every action of us, every word what we use is going to be having an impact. All the positive things what you have done will go for vain if at all your communication ability fails at times, because they are going to be learning from us every point. They will imitate us every time. They're going to be getting influenced by us. One more example about communication, maybe on slightly on a lighter note. You have these present day students chewing gum in the class. It's quite irritating for our generation as such. So you just want him to not to do that. Or it is getting on your nerves that you're not able to concentrate on your teaching. If at all, I'm a teacher and somebody is a student, I make a statement. If at all I see any person chewing gum in the class, I'll come, open your mouth, take out the chewing gum, throw in the dustbin. I should be very careful when I communicate. I should be very careful when I say. And 100% I'm sure I will not do that. 100% others also sure that Madam will not do that. So what you speak, you need to actuate. So please be very careful. You have to walk the talk, and communication plays a very, very important role. And not only you communicating, but also training the students in the class to communicate with you amongst their fellow members and also between the other people when they're trying to communicate. They need to be excellent in communication. And many times we find this difficulty when they go for the interview. They find it very difficult to communicate because we have not trained them when it comes to communication. There will be many doubts. How can we do all this in a short duration of time? Come what may, it is their life in our hands, and they rely so much on us. It's a time for us to reflect back and move forward to see that we stretch a little extra for the betterment of the children. Then Roger Soder, in the book called as Language of Leadership, he speaks about 3 levels: understanding, learning, and enlightenment. In case of understanding, it is concepts, clarity. Anybody would be able to understand it better. Comprehending, that's learning is about nothing about comprehending. Enlightenment is about whatever is being taught in the class, how well they're able to comprehend and make it as a part of a system of their life and help those concepts to discipline their living for their everyday performance. So, learning is a task. And when it comes by Deborah Noho, the reason for violence in class is because of the boredom. The boredom is because of the methodology what we use. And the methodology many times at the present stage, what I feel is that the present young children who stay with us for 3 years or 2 years. They're bubbling with energy. And asking them to sit in a class for 5-6 hours is quite a challenging task. With the level of energy what they have, it's very difficult for us, but how well we engage them is very difficult. And at times what happens is, if at all a new teacher enters a class, if they see this, if they witness this, they feel a little offended, and they might not try to do anything new in the class. They might discourage themselves from doing anything, innovation, experimentation. Maybe sometimes things would have come to our mind that I do so much for the class, they don't know how to receive it. I will not try anything new. I'll go by chalk and talk. No. It is a time for us to realize that come what may, whatever cartwheels I need to turn, I need to see that I make them understand the concepts and prepare them for later life and life skills, professional life as well as personal life. Then coming to the effective teaching part of it, it is about what are the different, I'm not going to tell what each one is about. I'll tell you about what type of outcomes what you can have in these type of teaching. In case of story-centered teaching, it's all about interpersonal discussions. What happens in case of story-centered teaching, a story is given to a class and they're supposed to discuss about it. When they're discussing, interpersonal communication develops. If they have to write down the story, they jot it down, pen it down, it's supposed written communication. Then they have to use their mind, the mind-centeredness is going to be there. And if they have to articulate the discussion, it's going to be the accession of the opinions and refuting with dignity if they don't agree with the others. So these are outcomes in case of story-centered discussions. Next, coming to theme-centered discussions, it's all about a particular theme is going to be given based upon that what they need to communicate. The verbal communication, the self-confidence, the self-esteem, the written communication, these are the outcomes of theme-centered. Historian trials, I think you must have heard about MADATs. So a particular discussion will be taken in a class, and after the discussion has happened, they have to role enact. In case of role enacting, if you have 5 people in a group, one person is going to be speaking from the background and the other 4 people are going to be enacting. So what does this take forward? The artistic development does happen. So the interpersonal communication develops, the impressing the others, how better they're able to do. The non-verbal creativity is going to be fostered and the self-confidence can be fostered. Coming to experiential learning, it is all about the social behavior, the values, the generic thinking. So these are the things, what is the outcome of effective teaching, what happens in a class, different type of pedagogy, what we use, the different outcomes are going to be there. Coming to transformational leaders, as I told you, each and every person in the organization makes a difference. It could be the service staff, it could be any people who are associated with the institution. I've just divided into 4 attributes. One is institution leaders, faculty leaders, student service staff, heads of the institution. Now, when it comes to institution leaders, it is very important that these 6 attributes which they have to exhibit, knowing about themselves, self-awareness. You have a method called as Johari window. Johari window speaks about 4 quadrants, that is known to others, known to self, it's a first quadrant. Second quadrant is known to others, not known to self is second quadrant. The third quadrant is not known to others, known to self is the third quadrant. Hello? And the fourth quadrant is about known to self, not known to self, not known to others. So this is a fourth quadrant what we have. The first quadrant we call it as public self, known to all. The second quadrant we call it as blind self. That is, I know but others do not know. The third quadrant is about the private life, where I know but others do not know. And the last one is going to be called as unknown self. Nobody knows about it. So self-awareness is very important. And along with that, the values of integrity, something like bridging a gap between the leaders and the followers. And the fourth one is commitment. There are 100 reasons to say, I'm not able to do it, but there's only one reason to say that I will do it. So it is nothing but a driving force to put into action. The next one is empathy. That's understanding the pulse of the others, listening to others, understanding others from the other's viewpoint. Then coming to competency, I look into 2 attributes. One is the knowledge and the skill. As I told you, to become a good teacher, what is more important is the knowledge and the skill what you have. And that has to be converted into a competency so that possessing adequate skills and knowledge is quintessential. Next, coming to leadership, it's all about ensuring freedom, the mutual respect. So these has to be exhibited by the institutional leaders. Coming to student leaders, ultimately we want our students to develop leadership quality. And how do we build? Now here, The teachers play an important role. Speaking perspective of teachers now, how well they're able to engage them off the class as well as in the class. In the class, the atmosphere is entirely different, the theater style, what we follow. Off the class, taking some activities like NSS, NCC, all this really makes a lot of difference, how well you're engaging them. Walking the talk, what I say I need to practice, only then the students are going to be believing me. So believing me and trusting me and getting influenced by me and following me. And you have to see that the campus is supposed to be a transformed campus only if at all you see that, we all individuals see that there is a contribution that is made to the students. And making them clear that leadership is not only in few. Many of them might shy it up. I was surprised when I moved to a different college. That was the first when we had presentation sessions. Some of them shared that was the first presentation what they've ever done in their life. So they might not move up to it because they're very shy about it. So making them very clear that it is not a cup of tea only for few, it is for everybody else. So leadership is not a sole prerogative. And community services, if at all you're going to be engaging them, so they try to become very different altogether. So moving to the next two, previous slide, we have student service staff and we also have the head of the institution. The student service staff are those people who have an influence. In addition to faculty members, we have the other people, something like the academic coordinators or general administrators, or the counselors, the soft skill trainers who come to the institution, the placement officers, the event managers, the librarian. So all these people are some way or the other connected to see that our students are converted into a great leaders. Coming to the head of the institution, it's a hot seat. It is typically a hot seat. It is not a path of roses, it's going to be a path of thorns. Multitasking what they need to do. I think most of them who are principals or done or accepted the position multiple times will be able to vouch for it, saying that the different types of work, what they're supposed to be vested, something from budgeting to fundraising to public relations to working towards a vision, seeing that the liaison between the management and that of the faculties and the students. The major focus areas is going to be about seeing that they develop themselves and also develop the organizations. Now, coming to the next aspect about elements of teaching profession, there are 3 Ds, I call it as design, developing, and deliveries. Evaluation to be done in the classroom, the assessment, the test. So these are the elements what we're coming to the knowledge. See how well you're able to understand the classroom, how well you're able to look in different dimensions of teaching and the information resource. The next is about managing the learners is quite a difficult task. That is about sequencing, the process, what you're going to be using, the pace, what you have to use. There are smart learners, there are weak learners in the class. How well you're able to, are you going to be dividing into groups? What is the best method, what you need to adapt? So understanding the learners is very important. And lastly is about the tools, the type of technology, the collaborative methods, what you use. There's not a new old concept too, something like having a peer group, that is each one teach one concept, what can be practiced in the class. So all this at times really makes a difference. Maybe in our school days, we had like each one teach one. The same thing can be percolated down to the college too. Ultimately, the learning should happen. The first phase of understanding from the introduction perspective is done like coming to resourcefulness. Very, very important. I've just picked up a story. This is a story between a Buddha and a disciple. A disciple went to Buddha. He asked for a new pair of dress for himself because the old one was worn out. And he felt very ashamed in front of the others because it was torn and he tried to stitch it multiple times. But later on, he went to Buddha and asked for a new pair. He told, okay, fine, I'll give you. And that was given to him. And the next day he came and thanked him. And in the conversation between Buddha and the disciple, Buddha asked, what did you do with the old robe, what you had? He told, I converted that into a bedspread. And next question was, what did you do with the old bedspread, what you had? And that was converted to a curtain. And what did you do with the old curtain, what you had? He told, I am using it for holding the utensils. So what did you do with the one which you had for holding the utensils? He told, I'm using it for washing the floor. And he told, what did you do with the one which you had using for washing the floor? He told, I've made a wig in the lamp. The next question does not continue because the wig in the lamp is going to be burnt. So resource utilization is very, very important. Each one of us here today, each one of us who accepted the position to be an educator are very resourceful. Now, if we have to be resourceful for the institution where we work, in this pandemic, having a job itself is a great thing. And how do we see that we sustain that job, what we have in our hands, the profession, what we have in our hands? So we have to understand the institution. When we have to understand the institution, vision and mission. Let me ask a question to you and to me. How many of us really know what is the vision and the mission of our institutions? You don't have to answer me. Please do question to yourself. If you know, well and good, hats off. Just put your hand back and pat yourself. If you do not know, it's the right time to go back to the institution and check out what is the vision and the mission. Every institution has a vision and the mission, and we have to work in those directions. Vision is where we'd like to see ourselves down the lane. The mission is why is that institution actually emerging. So we have to understand when during the orientation program for the teachers and the students that's being given, I think every 6 months, we all with the students and the management has to sit together to see that we understand the vision and the mission and start working in those directions. Now, next coming to the model of teachers at higher education for the holistic development, the intellectual competency, the personal skills, interpersonal skills, and societal skills are very, very important. I'm trying to rush a little faster because of the time and what I have. So these are the intellectual competences what we have. One is the academic brilliance, that is about gaining over the mastery of the syllabus or comprehending the new ideas or developing the leadership quality. Then academic co-curricular, that's like the field visits what we have, the industry and field visits what we have, updating the further knowledge. When it comes to professional skills, punctuality, or it could be regularity. Now, what all we are trying to learn here, everybody tries to follow. That's the reason I told you that we are going to be the leaders for the students. We are going to be benchmarking ourselves. We are going to be a role model for our youngsters too, the young colleagues what you have. So how do you, when it comes to professional competency, how do you deal with the gift that is specially challenged people? And in the session what I was attending today in the morning, it was very difficult for the resource person to actually make the students speak. And how much are we training the students to really ask question and answer a question? So we are not really preparing this. So professional competency lies in making them to be more equipped for the competitive world. Now, coming to information technology, that how I think you had a session, great session by Narendra sir about the information technology, what is required to be used in teaching. I'll not touch upon that. Now, coming to creativity. Now, independent collaborative research, what you have to do as books to be done, you have to see that, you have to get certain work of yours patented, and the objectivity is that working without any personal biases. So next, what we have is of the personal skills, that is value consciousness and spiritual development, that in the lines of being a role model for students, then service before the self does come in, and handling the students with maturity and seeing that it's not only one's well-being, but also the institutional well-being has to be looked into. Then coming to emotional poise, that is how healthy relationship what you maintain with your colleagues. Then courage and conviction about how honest you are, especially when it comes to honesty in the examination hall. At that point of time, maybe the teachers, students might not be very happy with you, but they will value your honesty in the examination conduct of it being the individual of the class, maybe 2 or 3 years down the lane. Immediate, what do we want? Do we want immediate results, or do we want long-term results? What we want is long-term results. So we have to work in the direction of where people would appreciate us down the lane. And next, coming to communication, that is how can we improve the communication? Is all about watching this certain YouTubes which has, then you have what TED Talks, what you have, then successful lectures, what you have, taking a prop to a class, something making it more effective. I was hearing to one of the session by Gururaj Karjiki sir, a great teacher, and he gives a lot of sessions. He told, just take a prop to a class. The student gets excited. Even if you don't use, just take a prop. The students will be thinking about what teacher is going to do today. So just carrying a prop itself to the class creates a curiosity in the minds of the children. So you have to work on these type of goal settings and different models what can be used for the class. Then physical development. If I'm healthy, I can do anything. So automatically physical health plays a very important role. The physical activities, the habits, something like elephant on the back, so you have to work on your habits too. Interpersonal skills is all about the teamwork, how well you're going to be working in a team, the leadership skills, what you have, empathy and being sensitive, trying to be empathetic towards your fellow mates, for your students, and also trying to be more sensitive to what happens in the environment. Coming to societal skills, it is about a flair for environment. We could have eco clubs and NSS, NCC, then helping a weaker section, adopting a village, the slum adoption, the health camps, what we can, it comes under environment, then cultural heritage about nation building, respect for other mankind. So it is also a part of society, and the future vision is all about what is that I can contribute, helping the society, eradication of poverty, a valueless system, a flawless system, what I can create, and creating a full employment. Now, this is more oriented towards institution now. As the head of the departments, as the principals of the organization, how well you can take the inputs, brainstorm ideas about a positive contribution, what an individual can make to the organization, to the institution. Positive, that is how positive they can contribute, and also what possible contribution they can do. Now, when you're selecting the teachers, you would handpick them with a lot of potentials what they have. Now, when it comes to assessing the potential of an individual and making them to actuate that, before that, do a brainstorming of it. It is not only we think about what contribution we can do, but also what contribution the institution also can do for us. When a person is appointed in the college, in the institution, you know what their attributes are. And what is the contribution the institution also is making to see that every teacher is going to be progressive. So it is going to be two-sided. What positive contribution a teacher can do for the institution, what possible contribution they can do, and also what is that the management can do, what is that the institution can give back to the faculty also has to be thought about. It's not once it's going to be like two sides of the coin. It's give and take policy again. Now, also assessing what are the problems that are existing in the organization and what are the failures, where are the areas, gray areas where they're failed, where they've not touched upon or not, they're failed. How do you overcome that? So the solution is always with us. So it's always trying to taking the inputs from the others. Now, institution audit, it's a SWOT of the institution as such. The institution potential, what potential an institution has. It could be the strength of the students. It could be the strength of the faculty. It could be the potential what everyone possesses. And what are the institution drawbacks what they have? So working on that. What are the institution values and principles? And are we in line with that, with the vision statement and the mission statement? And who are the stakeholders and what are the priorities? Which stakeholder priority are we supposed to be meeting? So this is to be done by the top level management and percolated down to the actuators, which is very important. The next is very important about human resource. I call it as humane resource development. All are human beings. But do we possess the humane quality? So when you're dealing with your fellow colleagues, when you're dealing with your students, we need to possess humane quality, which is very, very important. Now, coming to human relationship, the relationship can be by blood, by official, by situation, by meetings, which can be formal, which can be informal. There's something called as convented relationship. That is nothing but the relationship of love, what we carry, the love for the profession, the love for the institution, the love for the students, the love for the fellow colleagues. So love values more than that of the feelings what we have. So human relationships are very important. That helps to remove negativity. It helps to create a sense of belongingness. It is there's no power that gets actuated, and building relationship becomes something like adapting to the environment. Wherever we go, it should be something like a sponge. When you put the sponge on the land where there's water, the sponge absorbs the water. So wherever we go, one thing we have to keep on mind is we have to adapt ourselves to the environment where we are. And how do we lose relationship? We lose relationship because of the value conflicts what we have. Then coming to system and habits, let me tell you a few examples connected to that. That is punching on time. It's a system. And when you start insisting on that, it becomes a habit. And habit becomes a part of the disciplining of the life. So system, habit, and discipline has to be on place. The 5 years concepts, what you have, organizing things, what we learn in Six Sigma. So the 5 years concept was developed by Japanese, that's about sorting. We have something called as shitsuke, suketsu. It's all the terms what is to see that you have a proper alignment of things in the right place. Then lead and succeed. It should be always about others-centered. When you're other-centered, anticipation of the response is important. The anticipation of the consequence is important. And when you use assertion, very good, being assertive. But when you're asserting, the language what you use in assertion is also very important. And when you're not accepting a particular decision given by the others, you have to explain, you have to give it with the explanation, the reason. Coming to emotional intelligence, there's something called as rational thinking and emotional thinking. Now, olden days, it was head to heart. The mind used to think, and the major portion of the understanding was done by the mind. Now it is heart to brain thinking what's going to be done. There's a paradigm shift. Now the feelings, because of the feelings what we have, the blood pumps faster. So the feelings are nothing but the product of the heart, is told by one of the psychologists. Now coming to the concept of mentalizing of the mind. So mind and mentalizing. Now, mind is the thought process what we have. What is mentalizing? It is nothing but the positive and the negative thought process that happens in the mind. Mentalizing can be both positive and negative. So what we have to work on is about the positive. In case of mind, we have 5 different types of the mind. What we have, one is a disciplined mind, synthesizing mind, creating mind, respecting mind, and the ethical mind. So because of lack of time, I'm just moving slightly a little faster. What is the type of leadership what we want for tomorrow? The one who possesses self-confidence, one who has a value orientation. The first 2 are going to be personal qualities, and the second 2, the third and the fourth is going to be relating to role-related qualities, that is visioning and networking for the development of the organization. And how do you enhance leadership effectiveness? That is by raising the competency level of every individual is going to be a part of it, and raising the commitment level and raising the level of teamwork. These 3 attributes, what I personally felt is very important for enhancing leadership effectiveness in the organization. Now, leader institution building roles. There are 3 different layers what I've looked into. One is the role of the leader, the different types of roles what they play. One is the enabling role or the synergizing role or the balancing or building a linkage or futuristic role or making an impact, different roles what they play. And in the light of this, the institutions start building, because every one skill is going to be converted into competency where the roles are executed. And there's something what an institution have to think beyond what the management can think and work in the direction. The role of the teacher in the turnaround. When there's difficult situation that comes, how are you going to be tackling the issues? Has to be given a serious thought about it. And we have multiple consultants as teachers. It would be our peer group, it could be our head of the department, it could be our vice principal, it could be the principal, it could be the management. So we take the inputs from all of them. And I personally feel with this saying that we cannot spell success without you. You here stands for to all the stakeholders, but for my presentation purview, I've taken only 2 people into consideration. One is the students, the other one is a peer group. Now, I've built up a few strategies as per my knowledge goes. Now, what are strategies? How we can really work together as a team in exerting leadership and making our students as great leaders. First of all, trying to connecting with people. When you're connecting with people, you need to have humane relationship. Walking the talk, which we already have discussed. You have to walk the talk. That means what you speak, you need to be implementing. And many times you are confronted with differences and you ask for suggestions and guidance. And when a suggestion is accepted, give them the reason why the suggestion is accepted. And when the suggestion is not accepted, when there's difference of opinion, also try to refute with dignity. Most of the cases, what I've heard is, we stay together for maybe 10, 15, 20 years in the same institution, but we really do not know the others. So the difference of opinion comes because we do not know the others. So analysis of the others, knowing our own friends and colleagues is very important. So doing the SWOT, or we call it SWOT, the strength, weakness, opportunity, and the challenges of each one of us, which leads to self-analysis, is very important. Breaking the ice, that is trying to know each other. For example, if you have to speak 5 things about you, it's easier. If you have to speak 5 things about your friend, it becomes difficult. So you need to have certain sessions for all this. You can try this with the students. The strategies, what I've pulled in here is not exclusively for the teachers, but also it's going to be for the students, what you can try. And having a contractual agreement. What is this contractual agreement? Not on the pen and the paper. When I enter the class for the first semester, starting of the semester, let us try to have a memorandum of understanding between the students and me. What is that I expect from them and what is that they expect from me? So this contractual agreement is not going to be taken to the court of law, but still is going to be connecting all of us together to understand what is the expectation of each one of them. And very important one is for the faculties is creating the second line management. Second line management is very, very essential. One of the quality of the right leadership is all about trying to create the next line management what you have. And knowing one's own quality is very important. So self-analysis plays a very, very important role. And in the process, you have to respect the other person's point. It is maybe criticizing the action of a person, not agreeing with what they say, but not criticizing an individual as such is very important. And as leaders, we have to understand whether we are setting goals for your fellow colleagues or it could be for the students, reasonable goals have to be set, which can be achievable. And any success that happens should be celebrated, should be rewarded. There should be fun time. It should be a time to appreciate others. I think we many times say to the students, it's very difficult to give a praise. But it is not very difficult as such if you start consciously doing it. So develop a habit in them, and you also develop a habit in yourself as teachers to see that it becomes a part of your system. As I told you, habit is something like an elephant on your back. It's very difficult to put it down. So it disciplines your life. And inclusivity, make everybody a part of it. Don't work in isolated centers, but see that everybody is going to be included equally. And volunteering to stretch when required is important. Be ready to take up additional work. People see you, people witness you, people watch you. So volunteering to stretch is very, very important. The other strategies could be that conducting management gives us for team building actually, how well you can work together as a team, because I cannot work in isolation compartments. I have to work together. Today is a day we have to teach our students and also incorporate in our life where we are working, that working together is very, very important. So the management gives many times will really give you an insight about how well we can work in a team. Just have a team outing outside and have certain games like this. When you come back, it is like fantabulous relationship what you develop. A certain role plays to make the other person understand. If your case analysis may not be connected to your institution, could be something connected to the a cooked up case also could be taken. And in the process of this, you can have the right decision making, what you can foster. So joining the dots, that is connecting everybody. The concept of mentoring required to the faculties as well as for the students. Now, trying to build relationship. First of all, when people have to come and approach you, there should be a relationship what you need to build. There should be, as I told you in the earlier slide, what they attributed more as to be a great teacher is the relationship what they share with the students. So the relationship with what they share. And when relationship is being shared, when there's going to be a positive relationship, there's going to be exchanging of ideas, exchanging of information that happens. In the process of exchanging the information, we can as well give them goals. We don't set the goals for them in case of mentoring system. We help them to set their own goals. And when they set their own goals, we're just guiding them. Please ever don't do the mistake of telling them, do this. You just guide them and you can give them the path. This is the way you can think, this way you can do it. Give them various alternatives. Help them to find alternatives by themselves. And automatically they'll be able to prepare a vision card for themselves for future. And the deepening the engagements can happen only if at all there's a relationship that's going to be built up. Now, how you can engage them well is by exchanging of the information, getting the information from them. And many times you have to paraphrase multiple times to understand what they really meant is what you've really understood. And with the help of this, with the help of all the information what you get and the engagement what you expect from them, if they're going to be executing it, and they'll surely execute because they will be the people who will be setting the goals for themselves. And this will help them to plan for the future. And what are the action plans what we need to have? Setting vision and goals which are going to be achievable, smart goals what we need to plan, and we need to be, and those plans, vision or the goals what we have should be achievable. It should be taken, we should be very poised the way we are going to deal with that. We should be very positive and attending all the activities, whether it could be of the student or of the faculty, so that you are a part of it and they also feel that you are a part of it, so that there could be a good bonding that develops. And never stop learning. A teacher is a lifelong learner. A teacher who is guiding others is going to be I feel they're just going to be a senior student in the class. So there should never be an end for learning. There should be a continuity, and all of you are the witness that you're all on this platform to learn something. And one of the most important thing is that to listen. Listening is very important. And if you listen, 80%, even if you don't give them any solution, 80% of their problem is solved. Just listening makes a lot of difference. And help each one of them. As I told you, creating second line management is very important. If it is going to be the student, a student leader is going to be developed where they perform well, excellent in their professional and personal life. And if it's going to be a faculty, it is going to be creating a second line management. It should be a reflection of you on them that should be on the positive note. Now, when all this is going to be done, there are certain milestones what we have to set. When all the steps are going to be done, what we have to look into is that we need to have a regular reviews, not just you orient once and forget it. Every 6 months, you need to have a review meeting. Just check out what is happening. Just have a check on it. It is not monitoring very closely, just trying to make them realize the deadlines are very important. The outcomes are very important. And every 6 months, every 12 months, the graph should be progressive. The 6 months, then 12 months, 18 months, and 24 months. I've just taken it as half a year, 1 year, 1.5 years, and 24 months is 2 years. Because I just read somewhere saying that, and it's true, is also what I personally feel. Narayana Murthy sir rightly says, if a person holds on to the organization, to the institution for 2 years, he'll never think about leaving the institution. Because he tries to adapt himself to the institution. If at all they have to move, they move before that. If at all they have to move after that, most of them will not prefer to take a change because of the type of the environment what is going to be given to them, the type of the upscaling of the skills that happens when they're going to be at the institution. The process, learn from the past and don't lean on it. Learn from the past and don't go back to that and don't go on reiterating that. So learn from the past, the experiences what you have, and see that you don't repeat it again. And performance is what really matters. It's not the age that matters. And in the process of executing your work, you have to major in minor things. You need to have a mastery over a particular aspect what you're going to see that the institution grows. One way to take the revenge, I'm taking a negative note, one way of taking the revenge is nothing but massive success. I don't have to compare myself with somebody else. I have to compare myself only with me. I need to benchmark for myself. And way forward, change the thinking out of the box, thinking more creatively, how well you can contribute to the development of the institution as well as the students and to yourself. In the means of developing the institution, we also have to think about developing ourselves. So the greater goal is going to be developing the institution. In the means of developing the institution, I also have to think about development of every stakeholder in between. And make a comeback is very, very important. Nick Vujus, a person with no arm, no leg, is rated as one of the top first motivation speaker in the world. In his session, he says, what is that you do when you fall? If we ask the same question to us, what is that we do when we fall? Even now we slip many times and fall. What do? We get up. So we have to make a greater comeback. And when we make a comeback, the second innings of ours should be better than the first innings. So you have to be more competent than the first innings, what you have already done. And moving way forward, executing of the plan, because once the planning is done, 70% of your problem is going to be solved. You do better. Situation management, the crisis management, the way you're going to be handling it with all the attributes, what we learned about the personal skills and the human resource development. The focus should be on the task, what is being given to us. It is something like the horse where it's going to be made to run in the race. It should not have any diversions. So therefore, they're going to be closing the two sides of the eye so that it has a focus. So we need to have a focus. It reminds me of a story from Mahabharata where Drona asked the students to check what is there on the tree. Each one told different things. But Arjuna, one of the favorite students of Drona, said that I could see a bird and the eye at the point of the eye. So that is a focus what we need to have. A power punch, when we come back, it should be something, a forceful attack, what we are going to do so that we have a massive. And everything is about the state of the mind. What I visualize, what I see, what I imagine is what is really going to be happening. So mind is so powerful. The message what I pass to the brain is what really happens. And it's a time to start afresh. Every day is the right day to start. And I would say that the right time, today is the right time to move forward. And today is the best day for the rest of the life. And I would say that it is very important. We come from different backgrounds. We all teachers come from different backgrounds. We have different resources. We have different challenges. And we have different educational backgrounds, what we come from. It could be rural, urban, whatever. The demographics could be different. But come what may. The rural setup challenges are different. The urban setup challenges are different. The elite institution challenges are different. What is that we need to do? Never compare ourselves with anybody else. What is that I need to do? What I need to do is that I need to move forward to see that I give the best. So this is what I would like to say. And with that, I would like to acknowledge the stakeholders of KLE College, Gadak, for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts. And my special thanks to the Chief Mentor, Dr. Muralidhar Sir, Academic Research Group, and to all my members of Academic Research Group for being so supportive to me, and to all the participants for your patience listening. So it's a big thank you to everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was really an informative session. I request the participants, if you have any clarifications, queries, or any opinions, you can share it with us. Participants, anybody has to say something or to share something with us? Okay, thank you. I think nobody has to share something. So it's the time to end the session. I request at least two participants to share their opinions about overall the program. I request, I will mention the names also. If you are agree, you can share your opinions with us. I request Naveen sir to share a few opinions. Within 2 minutes, please, you can share the opinion about overall the program from 7 days. Naveen sir, are you there? Narsappa sir, may I expect from you? Narsappa sir? Or any of the participants, if you want to share something, or if you want to share opinions, or if you want to say our faults, please give suggestions for us. Please share your opinions within 2 minutes.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir, please.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, all the 7 days, it was very nice. No remarks.
Thank you, sir.
And very good organizing committee you have. I thank KLE Society Colleges. We are actually followers of KLE Societies, all the programs.
Thank you, sir.
And the special thanks to our mentor, Chief Mentor, Dr. S. Mulidhar sir, right from the Bhargavi ma'am to till today. Bhagya ma'am, resource persons provided the maximum input. We learned that we cannot quantify. Being the teachers, we learned many things, and we have taken much valuable things from this FDP. And we being the modern teachers, we should not remain teachers. We should become the facilitators, come parents to the students. This is what I felt from this FDP. There is nothing to say, no negative things about the entire FDP. Everything is fine. Systematically, you organized and resource persons, a beautiful resource persons, and we have taken much more what we have expected from the FDP. This is my opinion. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your opinion. I appeal Dhanlakshmi madam to share something. Dhanlakshmi madam, if you are
Yes, very good to everyone.
thank you. Yeah.
Madam, it was our pleasure to be a part of this because, as Sir said, there are pros and cons of technology, and this online interaction sessions have given us an opportunity to be in Gadak right now when we are in Udupi or some other. So the sessions were wonderful, and we would have missed it if it was who are very knowledgeable, and they have shared us. They have actually given us an insight about what teachers should be and how they have to practice their professional life. I thank again all the organizing committee members and coordinators and facilitators. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable feedback. Thank you, one and all. Now, just we want to start a small valedictory function to wind up the session. So there is a chief guest for the valedictory function, Professor N.M. Sali sir, Registrar, Folk University, Gotgodi. Before hand overing the session to N.M. Sali sir, I request Dr. Mulidhar sir to address the participants.
A very good evening.
Good evening.
Elrigu namaskara. At the outset, I just thank the KLE College Gadag for having organized this 7 days FDP in collaboration with Academic Research Group. And today being the last day of the FDP, when we listen to the opinion shared by a few of our participants, we feel very much satisfied, and that the basic purpose of the FDP is served. A basic intention of organizing this FDP in collaboration with KLE is to provide a platform for academicians to share, transform, enrich knowledge in the domain of higher education, because we strongly believe that when the teacher is empowered, definitely he can bring change, very positive change among the students and among the future generation of the nation. So therefore, I I personally thank all the 7 resource persons from academic research group. The very first day, Professor Bhargavi, Director of PG Studies, Sheshadripuram College, Bangalore, has delivered and wonderful presentation on the various teacher empowerment aspects highlighted in the National Education Policy 2020. So thank you, Professor Bhargavi Madam, for sparing your valuable time and sharing your valuable knowledge with the faculty members across the country through our KLE College FDP program. On the second day, Sairam sir spoke about the effectiveness of teaching learning in the classroom, and Sairam sir, with all his research insights, he has shared wonderful inputs and enriched, and he took it forward with his thought-provoking presentation. On the third day, Professor Girish BN from Government First Grade College, Frasertown, Bangalore, with his deep experience, very rich experience in the domain of quantitative as well as qualitative research, and how research-based teaching could enrich the classroom experience of teachers, and how the classroom can be made as a wonderful place for the students, for the learners. And also Girish touched upon the various aspects of national education policy through its National Research Foundation, how teachers can make use of National Research Foundation and how they can develop their research orientation and how they can bring the research outcome into their classroom teaching. So this is the third day's experience. And on the fourth day, Professor R.S. Narendra did a wonderful research and how technology can be used for classroom teaching. And very interestingly, technology can be blended with our conventional teaching methodology, and how classroom could be made as a wonderful place for the learners, and how technology can bring a very positive change in the teaching learning process has been explained by Professor R.S. Narendra. And on the fifth day, Professor Jayanti Bai Madam from Christ University, Bangalore, has explained in a very detailed, elaborate manner how professionalism can be used as a tool to bring effectiveness in teaching profession. So with all her experience, about 2 decades of experience, expertise, and she has shared her research experience in the domain of professionalism, and how the professional practices, professionalism can bring dignity to teachers, and how the behavior, the attitude, and the presentation of the teachers can bring respect to the profession, and how that can be used as a tool to be very successful in teaching profession. This was the presentation made by Jayanti Madam on 5th day. And yesterday, that is on 6th day of the FDP, Professor Divya Shekhar Madam from Jain College, Bangalore, has spoke about how the classroom management could be effectively made with the different strategies, and how the teaching can be made as student-friendly, learner-centric. Wonderful research-based presentation was made by Divya Madam. And to wind up today, as we have come to the last day of the FDP, Professor Bhagya Madam from SDC College, Bangarpet, has presented on the leadership styles, leadership skills, and how teachers can become very good mentors, and how a leader in the teacher can evolve for the effective management of the colleges, institutions, and the entire domain as such. So this is how the journey started, and today we are ending up this 7 days FDP. So I thank all the resource persons and KLE College in consultation with the Professor Madhav Kolvi sir, the Honorable Principal of KLE College of Arts and Commerce, Gadag. Sir took a lot of initiative. At least he used to call me not less than 5 days, 5 times every day before the commencement of this FDP. At least 1 week continuously, sir was discussing with all of us, and he conducted one demonstration just to check the technology, how technology works. He was just working out, and then the entire team of coordinating committee of this FDP, IPAC, internal quality assurance cell of the college, and more particularly Gaura Madam. She is the one who has been handling this technology aspect from the KLE college side. And I also thank all the management team, governing council, the chairperson, president, and secretary, the entire team of the KLE college for supporting this wonderful academic event in the times of pandemic. And this is a very fruitful activity using technology. 7 days every day, not less than 2 hours. Our resource persons, how they shared their knowledge, and now it is up to all of us to take these inputs to the classroom and enrich the knowledge of the students. So that is our responsibility now. So I thank all the members of academic research group, all the active managing team of the academic research group who have readily accepted, and they have joined, and they have well prepared and presented their various research insights on various topics during all these 7 days. Also on the first day, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj University, Gadag, Professor Vishnukant Chatpalli sir, had inaugurated with his very rich, experienced talk. And today our Professor Sali sir, Honorable Registrar, has joined us to share his views. So this is how the whole journey happened, and I thank everyone who has supported this FDP. Every day people used to thank me, but I don't know whether to what extent I deserve all your appreciation and thanks. It was just one humble attempt, and definitely we will be able to the
Muralidhar sir, you are muted. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for addressing the participants. It was really a fruitful program. Next, it's time to introduce today's chief guest, Professor N.M. Sali sir. I request Dr. Veena E. Madam to introduce the chief guest in front of all the participants and our faculty members.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, one and all. I am Dr. Veena E., Assistant Professor in the Department of Political Science, KLE Arts and Commerce College, Gadag. It's my great opportunity to introduce today's chief guest, Professor N.M. Sali sir, as a student. Sir, as an academician, administrator, and has been teaching past 20 years for post-graduation students. Sir obtained his master degree in political science from Karnataka University, Dharwad, and has been awarded PhD degree from Karnataka University in the year 2007. He started his teaching career from PG Department in Political Science, Karnataka University, Dharwad, and Sir served as Assistant Professor at Sayadri Arts and Commerce College, Shumogga, and served as Professor in the Department of PG Political Science, Karnataka University, Dharwad. And I'm very happy to say this. Sir has completed 4 research projects sanctioned by UGC and published more than 35 research articles in reputed journals and presented several articles at the national and international level. And I proud to say this, sir have very good administrative skill and served as a very highly position in universities. Served as register evaluation in Karnataka University Dharwad, register evaluation and in Folk University Kotugudi, and in addition, he is the member of the BOS in Tumkur and Bangalore University. He was the chairman of the BOE in PG Examination Board, Karnataka University Dharwad, vice president of Karnataka University Dharwad, SC/ST Teachers Association, and he worked as student welfare officer. Currently, sir serving as registrar at Folk University, Kotugudi. With this brief introduction, I present before you Professor N.M. Salis, sir. Over to you, sir. Sir, unmute ಮಾಡಿ.
ಸರ್ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ದು.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Good
Now it's
evening to
audible,
all.
sir.
Good evening. Good evening to all participants. First of all, I thanks to the organizing committee invited as a chief guest of this valedictory function, and I am also thanks to my student Veena invite me as a chief guest. I heard afternoon session of Bhagya Madam and the others regarding the shifting of the higher education challenges and problems. This is the FDF. First of all, I congratulations to the KLE Society to conduct the beautiful program for the newly recruited and the those who are learners in the academic side. That's the FDF. FDF, it's essential for this new era of higher education because higher education has been changed from traditional to technological education. It's already explained by the Muralidhar sir regarding 7 days FDF programs, what are the benefits and what are the problems and challenges in the higher education system. First of all, I thanks to Bhagya Madam and Muralidhar sir regarding their sharing their views or the other education policies. First of all, who is the leaders in the higher education system, particularly in the new education policy? The first and foremost leader in the new education policy, they are the teachers. When the teachers are gain the knowledge or the skill in the new education policy system, that should be sharing with the students. First of all, we are ready to take the challenges or we are ready to face the challenges. What are the changes took place in the education system? I request to all the teaching community, those who are beneficiaries in this program, please take the challenges and receive the problems in the new education system. If we are not ready to take the challenges or we are not ready to face the problems, we are unable to develop our personality as well as the academic side. That's why my teaching friends, Please, you should effort and dedication for learning the academic or as well as the new education system. That's why, as an academician, I am always hope or I am always believe in my teaching friends. They should bring their knowledges and share with their skill and knowledges with their students because the system is changes. Earlier, the teaching is a traditional system, but newly education system is built up the relationship between the students and the teachers. After completion of their education, the relation should be continued. That's the most important thing in the education system. That's why I request to all my teaching friends, please, we should think about the challenges and the problems in the new education system. Thank you, and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your precious presence and valuable speech. I request Professor M.B. Kolvi, sir, Principal KLE Society, Arts and Commerce College, Gadag, to deliver the presidential remarks.
Yes, madam. May I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, you can continue.
Good afternoon to all. A respected chief guest, resource person, and my colleagues, delegates. Welcome to valedictory function of FDP paradigm shift in Indian higher education, challenges and opportunities, organized by KLE's Arts and Commerce College, Gadag, in collaboration with Academic Research Group, Kolar. Today, Chief Guest Registrar of Folk University, Gottugudi, Professor N.M. Sali, I welcome you, sir. Today, on this memorable eve, we are winding up this FDP. On this occasion, I would like to congratulate the team members of organizing committee, IQAC coordinator, and chief mentor of academic research group, Dr. S. Muralidhar sir. I also like to express my sincere gratitude to each and everyone for making it successful. This event was successful also because of the active involvement of the participants. As you know, the future class needs to be radically different in order to become the relevant for the new era of the education. I believe this FDP, who just spent over the last 7 days, has helped the teaching community to understand and influence the evolving classrooms. I would like to complement the resource persons without whom it would not have been effective, to being available to the concerns and queries of the participants from their session. I wish all the participants excellence and hope that all of you would utilize this knowledge acquired from these sessions to our students and society. Thank you and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for addressing the participants. It's coming to appreciation, recognition, and encouragement for all who has been parts of this program, which is continuing since 7 days. Now, I give this opportunity to Dr. Ikemat Madam, IQSC Coordinator, KLE Society, Arts and Commerce College, Gadag, to propose vote of thanks.
Hello, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Good evening to all. I am Dr. A.K. Mutt, IQSC Coordinator, KLE Society's Arts and Commerce College, Gadag. Once a great man whispered, feeling thankfulness and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. Today, I take this opportunity to put all my gratitude into words. On behalf of KLE Society's Arts and Commerce College, Gadag, and the entire fraternity of the Institute, first of all, my sincere thanks to Almighty God for making this event a grand success. By His blessings and grace, we are able to make the event what it was. I express my deep sense of gratitude to our management for supporting us in organizing this event. This event is a collaborative effort, a joint venture that is with the Academic Research Group Polar. I acknowledge my heartfelt thanks to Academic Research Group for joining with us in organizing this event. I am very much grateful to Dr. Muralidhar sir, Academic Research Group Kolar, who is the designer of this event. I am very much thankful to him for taking the institute for hosting our college FDP and for his inspiration and mentorship. Thank you, sir. I am also thankful to Professor N.M. Sali sir, Registrar, Folk University, Gottagodi, for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest for the valedictory function. Thank you, sir. I thank all the resource person of all sessions of 7 days FDP for making an excellent presentation and making this event a very meaningful and interesting. I extend my vote of thanks to our principal sir, Professor M.B. Kolvi, for his constant support and encouragement. I will be failing in my duty if I do not underline a very important role played and the tireless efforts made by our organizing team, particularly Gaura Madam for her incredible job. I am happy to express a vote of thanks to our faculty members that has made this event a grand success through their motivation and dedication. I must thank all the participants for your active participation. I once again thank everyone whose contribution has made this FDP a successful event. Thank you one and all. Over to you, Madam, Gaura Madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for providing the thanks for all the participants and all the persons who are all the resource persons and the academic research group Kolar. It's time to end the session. Participants, sorry to inform you, because of some technical issues, I couldn't share the feedback link in the chat box. I will upload the feedback link in the WhatsApp group later, means after 5 to 10 minutes only. So please be cooperative with us in future. Also, we'll contact you for some other programs and register for those also and make them also a grand success. Thank you. Thank you for registration and thank you for being with us for 7 days. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you, organizers. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Veena Madam.
Sir, don't we have a feedback to be filled today?
Very good organization.
Excuse me, sir. Anybody to answer this query? Is there any feedback link to be filled for today?
Very good organization. The 7 days FDP program. All resource personnel well presented. Very so two thanks of the KLE Society in Gadak.